Sup, everyone. Welcome to the Super Bowl episode of the Flea Flicker. I am your host, Timmy B, as always, joined by my co-host, Joey D over there. Joey D, a little bit bittersweet as it's the Super Bowl, but it's the last football game of the year. Of course, there's the USFL and the XFL or whatever, but real football, this is the last game of the year, but it's the Super Bowl. What's not to love, Joey D? How excited are you for the Super Bowl, and how are you doing today?
Tim, I'm doing great, man. I'm very excited. This is, it feels like the first Super Bowl since the Eagles went when I've been like excited for it. Like
Yeah,
the last couple years, it's kind of been chalk. Like we've seen the
right.
Chiefs, we've seen Brady. It's been the same couple teams, the same theme, and now we got a team like the Bengals who no one expected to be here, and the Rams are a great story right now as well. It's a really fun time to be a fan of the NFL, and it's going to be a really good game on Sunday. But
Yeah,
like you said, bittersweet. But I love the off season, baby, and that's right around the corner too.
Yeah, to me, this is kind of like that, like maybe even the Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl a couple years ago, where you're like, all right, cool, not Tom Brady, like it's somebody new, Andy Reid, like it. And that's the thing as well, where it's like, I'd be excited and I'd be happy for either winner, just because the Bengals are in the division. I might lean one way, but this is going to be an absolute blast. And I even said it for their wild card picks, just rewatching some of our old videos. I was like, the Bengals got a pretty easy path to the Super Bowl, and I laid it out. I said Raiders, Titans, which was a winnable game, and the Chiefs as well, and the Rams was also easy, especially with the 49ers eliminating a couple of teams ahead of them. But man, we are here. We are here. Let's go ahead and hop into the game. Before we do that, Joe, make sure you hit that thumbs up button to like and subscribe to the channel. We really do appreciate that support. All right. As we said it, Joe, we got the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams, technically the road team in this one at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Rams are a 4-point favorite. The over under is 48 and a half. Joe, give me your I know who you're picking. All right. But let's talk about this game a little bit. Obviously, the big matchup here is, or the big, mismatch. Everybody's talking about this Rams defensive line against the Bengals O line. Everybody's seeing those 9 sacks that the Titans got without Aaron Donald and Von Miller. And Von
Right.
Miller has the Super Bowl MVP under his belt as well. So this is going to be a good matchup. I mean, there's good matchups all around. We got Jamar Chase versus Jalen Ramsey, Joe Burrow versus Matt Stafford, good tight ends, CJ Uzma, Tyler Higbee, very, very good tight ends as well. And teams where both the quarterback is either fantastic or interception or two, it could fall apart a little bit. So Joe, how about you talk a little bit about it, give us some topics of conversation here, and let's just keep talking.
Yeah, Tim. I mean, it's going to be a really fun game. Again, like the past couple games with the Bengals, it does not look great on
Mhm.
paper for them. The matchup is, that the Rams can absolutely exploit is that offensive line. With Aaron Donald and Von Miller and
Mhm.
Leonard Floyd, just or Robert. I can't even remember the other DN they have there. He's doing good as well. But I mean, that D line is just stacked, and this O line has been, struggling really all season. And the big thing is Joe Burrow. Even when he does get sacked, even when he's under pressure, he does a really good job of not turning the ball over and not making it, as a catastrophic play. Sometimes it's a negative play, but he'll take the sack, he'll throw it away, but
Mhm.
he's not turning the ball over, not putting his defense in a really tough position. So I think that that's going to be a big key. When the Rams do get pressure, is he going to end up having a couple turnovers here and there? Because again, this defense has a lot of star power.
Mhm.
But Joe Burrow's done such a good job taking care of the football, especially in these high pressure moments that I just feel pretty good about him regardless of the matchup. Um, Zach Taylor really has to do a good job of getting the ball out quick and using the screen game because in the game against the Chiefs, they're running the ball a lot on first down and really not getting much. I want to say they were averaging like 2.5, 3 yards a carry, something along there on first down. And, that's a lot of times it was a negative play. It was no gain or a gain
Mhm.
of one. You're just not you're not doing yourself any favors by taking the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands on those early
Mhm.
downs when they don't know if it's going to be a run or a pass, and he can at least set them up for second and short. third and manageable, whatever it is, rather than, second and 9. Now it's third and 8, just be smart with that and, kind of pick your moments to go deep and take those shots to Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, and hopefully Uzama and Higby, like you
Mm,
said, are they're both questionable with knee injuries, but both very good tight ends that can be real difference makers in this game. Um, and again, like on the other side of the ball, that's the other thing. Like it
right.
doesn't make sense, on paper. This should favor the Rams. I mean, Cooper Cup and Odell Beckham and Van Jefferson against Eli Apple, Mike Hilton, Trey Waynes, Jesse Bates back there. He's a stud,
Yeah.
but their D line has been really good at getting pressure this season and finishing. Trey Hendrickson having such a good season and was just a phenomenal pickup. So the opportunities, the Bengals have been very opportunistic when those chances come about. They don't drop a lot of interceptions and they play pretty sound defense. So despite not having a ton of talent, that can match up, I just we've seen them come back against the Chiefs. We've seen them be able to hold Patrick Mahomes to 3 points in one half. So
Mhm.
I just think that they're very technically and fundamentally sound and, very good coaching from the D coordinator. So I think that they'll be able to hang in there with them. It's not as much of a mismatch as they've had in the past that they've been able to overcome outside of this D line versus O line matchup. That's really the biggest concern. If Aaron Donald and Von Miller just completely wrecked this game, I don't see that happening, Tim. I like you said, you know who I'm going with, baby. We're going with Joey B and the Bengals to win this game 34-31. Joe Burrow,
Ooh.
tie ball game, less than a minute remaining, drives down, gets them in field goal range. Evan McPherson, game winner, game over.
Oh man, I like that. Yeah, I mean, and again, like this Bengals team, and we've been saying this all throughout the playoffs and even in the regular season as well. It's a lot of like, yeah, buts, where it's like they're good, they're above average, but if this happens, this team falls apart. Or if this, and same for the Rams as well. We saw a pretty bad, mid-November to mid-December from the Rams here right before the playoffs, where it's like we've seen Matt Stafford had 3 interception games. We've seen Joe Burrow had 3 interception games this year. So it really can come down to turnovers. I mean, I like this defensive front of the Rams, but I think a big thing as well is this Rams offense with these weapons against this Bengals secondary. Yes, there's Jesse Bates there, but maybe unlike a Chiefs team where it's like you look at Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, that's great. But look at their number 2 and number 3 receivers on the Chiefs. Obviously, still an Andy Reid offense and Patrick Mahomes. So it's like Brian Pringle. Like, come on, Pringles are chips, Joe. Where
Right.
it's like now you look at the Rams and you're like seeing Van Jefferson and you're seeing Odell Beckham. So you're kind of like, all right, like this team can handle if Cooper Cup gets taken out of the game with Jesse Bates looking over top or the other safety, of course. So this is going to be interesting. The run games, favor the Bengals in this one. Obviously, Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine, great in the screen game that you mentioned. Sony Michel, Super Bowl experience, actually was the only person who scored a touchdown the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl. It was just on the Patriots. So this is going to be an exciting game. I'm with you. I think this is going to be high scoring. Definitely take the over. I'm going with the Rams in this one, and I would pick the Bengals. I would. I love Joe Burrow. I respect him so much, but he's just in the division. So if they win it, great. This can be their own. This will be their only one because Lamar Jackson and the boys are coming back in 2022. But I'm going with the Rams in this one. I'm going to go with a score of 33-27. I'm going to go Rams 33-27 here. I think it could come down to potential like a Hail Mary from Joe Burrow, or he gets really, really close, maybe a goal line stand as well. And this is an interesting pick, Joe, because historically, AFC North teams fare very well against NFC West teams in the Super Bowl. Steelers beat the Seahawks. Steelers beat the Cardinals. Joe Flacco and the Ravens. Joe Flacco beat the 49ers. So historically, this is a good matchup for the AFC North, but I got to go with the Rams here in this one to win 33-27. So looks like we both have the over in that game. I mean, why would you not? It's the Super Bowl. The best part about the Super Bowl, Joe, is Super Bowl props. So let's hop
Let's
into a few.
go.
All right, we're starting off here. Coin toss, heads or tails, baby. Joey D, you're in overtime. What are you calling?
I'm calling heads every time, Tim. It's not even a question for me.
Yeah, I'm going heads as well. And mainly the main reason is I'm too lazy to press down on Madden or NCAA football to choose tails. So I just kind of spam A and just hit head. So I'm going with heads as well. So if you guys do bet, probably bet on tails. All right, Joe, next up, we got the first scoring play. Will it be a field goal? Will it be a touchdown? Will it be a safety? We saw that a couple of years ago with the Seahawks and the
Yeah.
Broncos. So what is going to be the first scoring play?
Tim, I'm gonna say that on the Rams opening, I'm gonna say that the Rams win or lose the coin toss,
All right, they
and
get the ball.
they
Okay.
receive, they go down, they score an opening drive touchdown. Matt Stafford QB sneak from the one.
Ooh, Stafford QB sneak. All right. I think I'm going to go with a field goal here, Joe. I think whoever wins the coin toss will do enough to get in the field goal range, whether it's Matt Gay or Evan McPherson. I'm not going to make that prediction. You know what? I will. We'll give it to Evan McPherson. We'll go with Bengals field goal. And just for fun, I'm going to say it's a 39-yarder. I think that they'll get the ball first, they'll go down, and then the Rams defense will kind of tighten up as they get approach the red zone and things like that. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals 39-yard field goal. And with that, Joe, we mentioned opening drive scores. So any score in the first 6.5 minutes, are you going yes, or are the Rams gonna hold the ball for longer and score?
I'm gonna say yes. I think it does happen early, and a lot of my thinking with this is kind of twofold. You know, the Rams are a team that gets out to leads early, and the Bengals are a team that has come back in the second half.
Yeah.
You know, despite being down, and you know we've seen in the past the Rams not really be able. The Rams and Sean McVay, I think they do a great job of game planning and coming out with an idea of what to expect and what they're planning on, but he's not great at adjusting. I mean, that was
Mhm.
a real struggle that he ran into in their Super Bowl against the Patriots a couple of years ago when Bill Belichick threw a defense that he hadn't shown all year at the Rams, and McVay didn't adjust the entire game. So hopefully, or not hopefully, I'm rooting for the Bengals, but for him, I would imagine he's a little bit more prepared for whatever he thinks that they might be able to throw at him, but that still hasn't been a strength. So I think that the Rams get out to an early lead, Bengals come back in the second half, and that's when they end up going ahead and winning. I think the only time the Bengals are in the lead in this game is when they kick the game-winning field goal.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm definitely going with the score in the first 6 minutes as well. And it's a good point that you mentioned about Sean McVay. They have a great plan A. They probably have a little bit of a plan B, but once you get to plan C, D, and E, not so great. And we saw the Bengals a couple of weeks ago, not the best plan A, but in the second half, they unleashed some plan B, C, D, and E, and they dominated that second half. So we got some quick scores happening. Now, will there be a successful 2-point conversion here in this game, Joe?
I'm going to say yes, Tim. I'm going to say yes. I
I
think
don't like that you're agreeing
it's
with me
smart
on
of
all that.
it's smart of teams to go for two early, and just kind of take that take that extra 2 points
Mhm.
and put that pressure on them early. So I could see the Rams doing that if they do get that opening drive touchdown, like I'm talking about, just going for two right off the bat and trying to get out to an 8-0 lead to start.
Yeah, I think there will be a successful 2-point conversion as well. And I think maybe even after a second touchdown, let's say the Rams do go down and score a touchdown, go up 7-0. Maybe there's a pick six or another quick score. I wouldn't be surprised. They're like, all right, cool, let's go up 15. Because then it's like, if you miss it, it's like, all right, well, it's still 13-0, still, two
Right.
score lead. So speaking of that, speaking of kicking some field goals and extra points, will there be a missed kick in this game? And if so, by who?
This is a tough one for me, Tim, but I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna
Oh,
say Matt Gay is the one who misses it. So that also could potentially help me with my 2 point conversion prediction.
yeah.
If he misses an extra point, or something like that, then that's why the Rams have to go for two. It works.
You know what? I'm just going to go opposite of you. I'm just going to say no. That way we can disagree on something. I'm going to say there are going to be no missed kicks. I mean, we saw Matt Gay be short on a like 47-yarder against the Bucks.
Yeah.
He missed one pretty badly in the NFC Championship game, but I think he will fine tune himself. And who knows? Maybe the Rams just keep moving the ball and keep scoring touchdowns, and we don't need to see his field goal kicking, or at least within extra point range, and he's not kicking 50-yard
I'm
bombs.
telling you, it's gonna be a missed extra point by Matt Gay.
All right. Well, we'll see. Now, next thing here, Joe, is the combined jersey number of all touchdown scores. The number is 187 and a half. So will that number be over or under from the jersey number of the touchdown scorers?
Oh man. Um, Geez, because I think let me think. What Odell and
I
well,
did some research
Odell, Van
before we started
Jefferson,
recording.
and Cooper Cup,
All of
they're
the
all
Rams wide
like pretty
receivers, except for
low.
like one, are under 20. Rams running backs are under 25. The Bengals, however, aside from Jamar Chase, everybody's in the 80s. Joe Mixon's like 28.
Right.
Samaje Perine is 34. So basically, we would need a tight end to score on the Rams. If we get two 80s to score, this will hit no doubt. I'm going to go with the over in this case, but if we get a lot of Cooper Cup and Jamar Chase touchdowns, that number is going to be like 12.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that I'm gonna take the over as well because I think that both of these defenses are gonna do their best to take away both of those players,
Yeah.
specifically Cooper Cup and Jamar Chase. So, if the Bengals are able to score points, it's gonna be because, like last week, T. Higgins is stepping up, Tyler
Mhm.
Boyd stepping up, CJ Uzama's back and making some plays. And kind of the same thing for the Rams too. They've got that tight end. I think it was Blanton, I want to
Bland,
say,
yeah.
who made some plays for them. And Higby hasn't practiced at all this week. I don't
And
I don't
this
think
is
Uzama has either, but
this is just
I don't know.
any touchdown score. So hey, if there's a
Yeah,
defensive lineman that might pick up a touchdown who's like 98 or something, why not?
exactly.
Are you
Sorry about that.
there you are. No worries.
Got a
So
phone call.
Joe, I know the answer will be no for this one, since you said that the final play will be a field goal. But will the final play be a kneel down? You're going no. I'll go yes. I think the Rams get a goal line stand or a fourth down stand, and then Matt Stafford takes a knee, points at a Lions fan, and says, "Yes, I just kidding." All right, so no and yes for me. Now, winning coach normally gets a little Gatorade bath, Joe. What color are we going with?
Tim, I asked my wife Brooke this question. Her immediate answer was orange because it's going to be Zach Taylor of the Bengals who gets the Gatorade bath, and the orange would just kind of work well with their colors. So, because their color is orange. So, you know, I just feel
Yeah,
like that makes sense, and that's why we're rolling with the orange. Shout out Brooke Dennis.
you're rolling with orange. I think orange is the obvious choice. The Bengals win. I think blue is the obvious choice if the Rams win. So I'm going to go a little unobvious here, and I'm going to go with purple. We gotta see some purple in here for the
Oh, I
Ravens.
like
So
it.
I'll
I
go
like
with
it.
purple.
Tim
I
said purple.
I
Brooke
do think,
likes it.
yeah, I think it's a good color, and I've heard that Bengals generally use orange. That's a solid pick. I think the Rams will generally use blue, but hey, let's be a little bit different. And then finally, Joe, who is your Super Bowl MVP? You have the Bengals winning. Will it be Joe Burrow, or might it be somebody else?
No, it's gonna be Joe Burrow, baby. Joe Burrow with the MVP. He's gonna take a bruising. It's gonna be he's gonna overcome a beating just like he did against the Titans, but he's gonna lead a comeback. They're never gonna waver. He's gonna be the one to lead them to victory at the end and get them in field goal range for McPherson. Give me Joe Burrow all the way, baby. And I think that you have to worry, Tim, because now the Bengals are going to be the class of the AFC North. They're going to be at the top. I don't know if the Ravens are ever getting back, maybe competing with the Steelers for the basement.
Hey, you know what? If there's Mason Rudolph, the quarterback, that would be a little concerning. I'm going to go a little bit different here. I'm going to go with Cooper Cup as my Super Bowl MVP. And Joe, I hate to bring this up, but I think it could be a lot like that first Super Bowl between the Patriots and the Eagles, where, Tom Brady, about 240 yards, couple of touchdowns, but the MVP was Deion Branch, 11 receptions for 133 yards. I can definitely see that happening with Cooper Cup, about 10 plus receptions, over 100 yards, maybe a touchdown as well. So I think he'll actually be the difference maker, much like Deion Branch was in that game. So I'm going to go with Cooper Cup as my MVP as the Rams win. And my goodness, I'm looking at that box score now. Terrell Owens, 9 for 122 on like a broken leg.
On a broken
Unbelievable,
leg.
unbelievable performance here. Well, That's all that I wrote down for the game as well as some props. Do you have anything else that you want to discuss, Joe?
Oh man, now off the top of my head, I feel like we covered a lot right there.
Yeah.
I think we did a really good job. Like, man, I wish we had some live guests that we could be like, caller, what's your question? And you know,
Well, you
just
did
have
get a
that answer.
call not too long ago.
I did get a call. Man, what if it was Fab? That would have been amazing.
Yeah, well, I guess very short episode today. I mean, it's only one game to discuss. We'll be back next week to not only recap the Super Bowl, but also discuss all these new coaches and everything that has been happening. We were gonna do it, but then we were like, yeah, let's just do the Super Bowl. That's off season material, Joe.
Focus on the Super Bowl. It deserves its own episode.
All right. Well, Joe's got the Bengals winning 34-31 on a last second field goal from Evan Kickfierson. And
That's right.
I got the Rams winning 33-27. This is going to be a fun game. As I said, as a Ravens fan, either way, I would be super happy, whether it's the Rams and Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, Sean McVay, or you know what? I'd be happy for the city of Cincinnati. And I do like Joe Burrow. Just unfortunate that he's on a division rival. So I got to go against him in this one. But Joe, any
Evan
final words?
Evan McPherson, best kicker in the AFC North.
Nope, not true. Not true. That belongs to Justin Tucker right there. But anyways, folks, that'll be Joey D over there, and I'm Timmy B. Let us know your fun props and all that fun stuff in the comments, and we will see you once there's an NFL champion this year. Peace out, fam.